Well, good morning, everyone. So, I'm sorry I missed Friday. I normally do a Fallout Friday. I was in excruciating pain that day, so I wasn't able to stream. And I've changed this week to whatever week so we can try to get through more of the Raven. I look forward to, getting through this game so everybody can see the story. Also, I would like to thank FarPrey87 for becoming a follower. Thank you so much. And I think we're just gonna get right into the game because I already have it loaded up. Stop the music for now. And I mean, it's been going so well. So where we left off, we did the blood test to see if the spot on the bed was blood or not, and it wasn't. So now we're going to try to make our way into the infirmary to see if there's any other stuff. There, oh.
It seems impossible that Dr. Gebhardt could have shot the Baroness. He was with me when the gunshot ran out. But he must have noticed that the Baroness was lying in a pool of fake blood. Maybe he's covering for someone. Let's find out.
Yeah, you picked that lock, Zellner. And slam the door because you're trying to be sneaky.
It's probably for emergencies, in case a passenger falls down and can't walk anymore. Possibly due to rough seas, or maybe the captain's well-stocked bar. The sink looks like it's been cleaned recently. I can't say whether it was cleaned to comply with the hygiene regulations, or whether there was another reason. Interesting. A tape on a reel. The reel belongs to a much better player, like the one from the Baroness's cabin. I can't be certain that this is the reel that was missing from the Baroness's cabin, but it seems quite likely.
Weird. Am I gonna have to do point and click now? There we go.
The Sibling brand reel from the Baroness's cabin. The tape that came on it and the reel that belongs to the player are both gone. I can't be certain that this is the reel that was missing from the Baroness's cabin, but it seems quite likely. Okay. Nothing. Strange. There. Very interesting. A shot is audible on the tape, and the reel comes from the Baroness's cabin. It's all coming into focus. I guess the trash bin is in here.
And you would
Right.
be correct, sir.
Paper towels, plastic packaging, cartons, and... Hold on. What's this? A burst rubber glove. It's knotted, and there's a red liquid all over the inside that looks like blood. I bet good money that it's the same fake blood I found in the Baroness's cabin. Dr. Gebhardt will have trouble explaining how rubber gloves full of fake blood got into his trash bin. First, the fake blood he missed in the Baroness's cabin, and now this. It doesn't look good for you, Doctor. That's proof enough for me that the doctor is involved in this. I should report to Legrand.
Going to save it just in case something happens.
Time to pay Legrand a visit. No.
Kind of felt that was coming. Mainly because he slammed the door.
Why couldn't you just leave it be? Let me go. Why are you doing this to me? You and the Baroness. Dr. Gebhardt, I don't know. Don't you understand what you are forcing me to do? You don't have to. It is almost over. You won't feel a thing. I am sorry you have to see all this. I should have used more chloroform. Have to distract him. Chloroform? I had it in my bag, just in case. You were supposed to be asleep. I am not a monster, you know? I have nothing against you. Nothing at all. But what can I do? You forced my hand. It's your fault. Yours alone. Keep talking. Why? Why did the Baroness have to snoop around? Why did you have to snoop around? And that glove there. You want to plant evidence on me, yeah? I left no evidence. There is no trail. And yet you can't just leave me in peace, can you?
Great. Not only is he a horrible murderer, but he's also delusional and in denial.
A pair of scissors. Easy, Mr. Zellner. You will only hurt yourself. Shall we begin? It's almost over. I will.
Ooh, who was that? Yay! Done with the doctor. I knew it was him.
Thanks.
A wet towel works miracles. I told you so.
Out with it then. What were you doing down there?
Inspector, at least let the constable recover his breath.
He almost killed himself.
Me? No. Dr. Gebhardt would have taken care of that for me. Where is he?
Gebhardt is vanished without a trace. We're searching the ship from top to bottom.
One at a time. Tell me, Zellner, what did you find out?
Dr. Gebhardt killed Baroness von Trebitz.
Impossible.
Do you have proof?
No.
Besides the fact that he wanted to kill me?
But wasn't the doctor with you when the shot was fired?
The shot that we heard was a recording. The Baroness had a tape recorder and good speakers in her cabin.
Is that just your suspicion, or do you have proof?
There's an audio tape in the medical center. The reel belongs to the tape player in the Baroness's cabin. And there's a sibling reel in her cabin that belongs to the recorder in the medical center. He recorded it in the cargo hold. His tape recorder has a microphone, and I removed a bullet from one of the boxes down there.
And it came from the murder weapon?
All right.
Inspector Legrand.
Let's pretend you're onto something. The shot we heard was just a recording. What happened next?
We all ran to the Baroness's cabin. She lay comatose in a pool of blood. Dr. Gebhardt pushed past you so that you couldn't get too close to the Baroness. He examined her and pronounced her dead. There was no reason for us to doubt him. The shot, the blood, the Baroness lying there lifelessly. But she was only unconscious, knocked out by the chloral hydrate that the doctor had poured into her glass shortly before.
The doctor had a glass in his hand when you came in.
He wanted to remove the evidence, but you gave me the glass instead, Captain DeConti, and unintentionally knocked me out as well.
Nonsense. There was blood everywhere. And the Baroness is certainly dead enough, isn't she?
Then who did shoot her? And when?
As I already said, it was Dr. Gebhardt. He had the sleeping Baroness brought to the medical center, where he had all the time in the world to shoot her.
A fine theory, but unfortunately incorrect. I examined the Baroness before she was taken away. She had a bullet wound in her chest.
Besides which, she was already cold when we brought her to the medical center.
All the same, it's worth considering the possibility. The doctor was alone in the cabin for a while. When the alarm went off, it was deafening. I couldn't even hear myself.
And I found a pillow with burn marks. Could have been used to muffle a gunshot.
And the blood?
The blood wasn't real. Dr. Gebhardt mixed up a liquid that looked like fresh blood to the casual observer, but the liquid remained red instead of becoming darker and browner from exposure to the air. That meant he had to clean the body and get rid of the bedding.
But the blood was already there when we first entered the cabin.
Dr. Gebhardt was in the Baroness's cabin before the murder. He hid a surgical glove full of the red liquid under her sheet. The Baroness, dead tired, fell onto her bed. The glove burst, and the blood spread across the bed. I found the burst glove in the medical center.
But why did he do it? What was his motive?
Inspector?
I can only speculate. The Baroness spent the day rummaging through her old family photos.
No, no, no.
Do you have anything to contribute, Constable?
Confession, sir. Dr. Gebhardt was the Raven. It's all here. He admits to everything.
What does it say?
It says, "Do you still remember, my dear Nico? The streets were wet with rain, and the scent of roasted barley and fermenting yeast wafted over to us from the brewery. A dog barked until your shot struck down the innocent one. After that silence, not a single sound, except for my soft steps fading on the wet cobblestone street. They made a hero of you, and I, at last, found peace. At least until the urge returned. Some of us are not made for retirement, my friend. I thought they would assign this case to you, and that thought pleased me. We'd finally find out who was truly the better man. And it pains me now to have to admit that you and your little gumshoe got the better of me. You drove me into a corner, forced me to make mistakes. I congratulate you on your triumph, but no one will confine the Raven to a cage. There is but one way out, and that is by my own hand. Farewell, Raven Hunter R.
Inspector Legrand.
The biggest lie letter I ever heard.
Inspector?
I was right. I told them all, over and over again. But no one would listen.
You think that Dr. Gebhardt was really the Raven?
The things Gebhardt describes in his letter aren't part of any police report. Only someone who was there would know them.
Couldn't there have been others involved? One of the police, for instance. What if one of them changed sides?
Why is it so hard for you to accept the simple truth? There was never a new Raven. There was only ever the old one. And that was Dr. Gebhardt.
The modus operandi
Guys.
doesn't match. The Raven was not a killer.
Legends are rarely what they seem to be, Constable Zellner.
Then who was the man who was killed back then?
William Jackson, a petty thief, committed some burglaries together with his brother. Talented, but not world-class.
And they thought he was the Raven.
Some people thought it was part of his disguise. If you're a debonair master thief, what better disguise than pretending to be a common crook? From time to time you let them catch you pulling small jobs, and no one ever imagines you're capable of a major heist.
But you didn't believe it.
I had my doubts, but everyone congratulated me, and those doubts were pushed aside. It was like being caught in a storm, but eventually the storm passed and my doubts were still there.
But not this time? No doubts telling you that Gebhardt isn't our man?
It must be him.
What about the handwriting, the wording? Does the farewell letter match the Raven's other letters?
Yes, it's his handwriting, his words. I've read all the Raven's letters, all of them, over and over again.
I never thought it was possible. A resurrected Raven.
The Raven was never dead. I shot the wrong man.
But that man had the stolen goods, didn't he? So he must have been in league with the Raven. One could hardly call him innocent. Where do we go from here?
We deliver the eye and then I'll contact Paris. A task force will compare all of Gephardt's known residences with the Raven's activity.
And if there are any inconsistencies?
You're welcome to keep an eye on the safe if you can't let it go. The ship will remain in Cairo for one day. That's all the time you'll have to catch your own Raven. I already have mine.
Okay. Off to Cairo. Yay. If you're not making any progress, take a break and relax. Ah, thank you, game, for telling me to do that.
Ah, you're one of Legrand's men, aren't you?
My name is Anton Jakob Zellner.
You've come just in time. Grace, my dachshund, is missing.
There may be more important matters for me to attend to, Mr.
Director Abbas Mokhtar. And Grace isn't just a common dog. She's a purebred German dachshund, a champion.
So, the exhibition will still open tonight.
But of course, everything has been arranged. The final preparations are almost complete.
But one of the two exhibits won't be there.
A terrible loss, a tragedy. That irreplaceable Egyptian cultural treasure has been stolen for the second time.
The second time?
What? Did you really believe that the Eye of the Sphinx was found lying on the banks of the Thames?
Inspector Legrand, Professor Lucien, and Constable Oliver are overseeing the transportation of the safe. They should be here at any moment. I'll have a look around in the meantime.
Do you think that's necessary? The Raven is dead, after all.
If you mean Dr. Gebhardt, his body was never recovered. Nor the stolen Eye of the Sphinx, for that matter.
It does us a great honor that the Inspector is concerned about us. But we have everything under control.
Legrand isn't as concerned as he should be. But I am. Is the museum closed?
Yes. Only carefully selected guests may enter the museum during preparations for the gala. And of course, you're one of them, Mr. Constable.
What can you tell me about the museum's security system?
One of the best on the market. And the second eye will still be exhibited in our special treasure chamber, which is extra secure.
Treasure chamber?
See for yourself, to the right of the entrance. The eye is as safe as the British Crown jewels.
I doubt that, but okay.
I think I'll have a look around the museum.
Please do. There's a lot to see. And you let me know if you see Grace, won't you? I hope we find her before the great inspector arrives. Isn't it fantastic how he solved the murder on the ship?
Legrand?
Of course. It's in all the newspapers. The murder of the wealthy Baroness von Trebitz, and how the great Inspector Legrand identified the murderer in just one day. It's the stuff legends are made of.
Totally
You should count
Legrand.
yourself lucky to have the chance to learn from him.
Had nothing to do with me at all.
What exactly do the newspapers say?
Everything. It's fantastic. Someone on board must have informed the press immediately. Of course, it's a great advertising for us. The reporters will queue up tonight.
And it was reported that Legrand found the murderer.
Of course. Who else?
Well, I wasn't exactly uninvolved.
Of course. Legrand surely has assistants, but honor to he who deserves to be honored. Right?
Well then.
Be seeing you, Constable. Grace! Here, Gracie. My sweetheart.
Inch.
Where are you?
Oh, Mr. Inch.
Mr. Inch. There you are. I am so sorry. Baroness von Trebitz was a good-hearted woman. She did so much for the museum.
As you say, sir.
And you? Are you leaving so soon?
I'd like to go back to my hotel. These last days have been such a strain.
First, you sneak into the museum without greeting me, and then you want to leave just as quickly?
I didn't want to disturb you, and we'll have time enough tonight.
Yes, you simply must come tonight. I wanted to present Baroness von Trebitz with a medal. Now you'll have to accept it.
Of course, if you insist, sir.
The Baroness paid for all this. Without her, there wouldn't have been an exhibition or a gala.
She was very generous.
Yes, she was.
If you'll excuse me now. Constable Zellner, I want to thank you again for all you've done. You saved me, you could say.
My pleasure. See you tonight.
I don't trust that man. He's so creepy and shifty. Creepy and shifty. Mr. Inch. Ooh, pretty.
Miss Miller probably entered the museum with Lady Westmacott. The lady must be famous in Egypt as well. Miss Miller, I'm glad to see you here.
Oh, Constable Zellner. I heard what happened to you on board. Awful. Truly awful.
All's well that ends well. You are waiting for Professor Lucien?
Mm-hmm.
Tomorrow you'll be sailing down the Nile, if I heard correctly.
That's right. I'm sure it will be an amazing experience.
But you don't seem to be very excited.
Oh,
Woohoo.
but I am. It's very generous of Lady Westmacott to invite me, and especially Maddie. He'll learn a lot.
But
Well, Professor Lucien offered to join us.
then Matt will learn even more. And I'm sure it won't be unpleasant for you either.
No, I just don't know how Maddie would react if Edgar came with us.
I understand. I could test the water to see how he'd feel about it.
Would you do that? Oh, thank you, Constable Zellner.
Were you able to find out why Professor Lucien left the forecastle so suddenly last night?
No, not really. We only had a brief conversation. He was still very nervous.
He was like that on the train as well. Seems to be typical of him.
It must be something to do with the burglary at the museum. It really affected him. But he told me not to worry about anything. He said, soon this would all be over.
Really? How did he mean that?
Oh, I didn't ask him, Constable.
Pretty sure that the Weasley professor guy is very messed up after the theft. So, my opinion, if I was supposed to be like accompanying a gem of great worth, and I'm afraid it's gonna get stolen, keeping that on myself.
Are there other passengers from the ship here?
Oh, yes, we arrived as a group. David Kreutzer, the violinist, was with us. So were Miss Myers and Mr. Inch. He seems to have gotten over the death of the Baroness pretty quickly. He seems positively relaxed.
I've met him. He looks on the bright side of life, so to speak. Where is Mr. Kreutzer?
He's over in the treasure chamber. Maddie is downstairs in the main hall. I'm afraid I'll hear the sound of something priceless shattering any second.
Matt will be careful, Miss Miller. I'll continue my tour of the museum.
Oh, yes, there's so much to see.
Oh, the places you'll go. So yeah, like I was saying with the professor guy, I'm pretty sure he's carrying that gem with him. And there's gonna be nothing in the safe that has almost been robbed like twice. Ooh, pretty. Ooh, pretty. Look at the sarcophagi. The sarcophagi. And the canopic jars. Ooh, daggers.
Several daggers in a row. Their shapes and patterns look timeless, elegant. What does it say here? The dagger on the left is a replica of the dagger from the tomb of Tutankhamun. It must have been incredibly precious during his lifetime because it's made of iron. Thousands of years before the Ice Age, meteorites were the only source of pure iron. So a star that fell from the sky, bringing a substance that's harder than anything they'd known before, would have been a dramatic event. No wonder they used it to forge a weapon for the godlike pharaoh. This is Akhenaten, the only pharaoh whose portrait I always recognize. He has a very unusual head. Akhenaten was the husband of Nefertiti and the father of Tutankhamun, a famous family. But he went down in history as the pharaoh who wanted to eliminate the old gods and replace them with a single god. The priests took offense, and he died of unknown causes. A figure of Imhotep, who comes in peace from around 2700 BC. The first polymath known by name. Godfather of medicine, architect of the first pyramids, and according to legend, the inventor of Egyptian writing. He certainly achieved more than me in his life. He was a legend. The Greeks called him a god. The Romans still honored him 3,000 years after his death. Even today, scholars offer a drop of ink to Imhotep when they begin a new project. Really impressive. Impressive, isn't it? Thousands of years old and still beautiful.
That it is. They dug it out of the sand near Thebes over 50 years ago. I was there.
Really?
I met my husband there. He was an assistant on the dig and was ordered by the director of the excavation to take care of that writer. I financed many excavations in the following years, here in Egypt and in the Near East. I visited my husband, together with our son. It was the best time of my life. But a museum is no place for nostalgia. What can I do for you?
You've had a long and successful life, Lady Westmacott.
What's that supposed to mean, Mr. Zellner? That I should be ready to leave the stage? Because I'm not.
Oh, I didn't want...
I'm here because life is here, Constable. Or was. I have never lived as much as I have here. No fame, no money can buy that.
I understand.
I'm sorry, Constable Zellner. Such an outburst isn't fitting for a woman of my age. And an English woman at that. Let's talk about something else.
Your son. You haven't said much about him. Or perhaps you did. Just not by name.
You're an attentive listener, Mr. Zellner.
I was wondering why you knew so much about Miss Miller's unhappy marriage.
I stopped paying his bar tabs. Stopped paying reporters to hush things up. He got to know her and went with her to America to start a new life. You can change your name easily, but not who you really are. He has my eyes, doesn't he?
The Part 2 novel is for him, isn't it?
If I couldn't provide Matthew with a good father, then at least I can provide him with a good start in life.
When I was working on the ship, I felt like one of the detectives in your novels.
You were lucky. It was an unusual murder. Most murders happen in the heat of the moment or are committed by idiots. They're uninspired. But Gebhardt thought it through. He could have succeeded.
I don't know. He made too many mistakes.
He couldn't have known that the Baroness, almost unconscious from the drugs, would lock her cabin door.
But that was a risk. The plan was too complicated and sloppily executed.
You certainly are a harsh critic, Mr. Zellner.
He could have shot her on the side deck and thrown the weapon into the sea. With no witnesses, no one would have suspected him.
How boring.
Or if it had to be a complicated plan, then he should have worked more carefully. Should have thought of everything, had a plan B in place.
Maybe he didn't have enough time. He had only a few hours to plan and commit the murder.
Still, he should have covered his tracks more carefully. The audio tape, the bloody glove, none of that should have stayed in the medical center. Do you think that Dr. Gebhardt was the Raven?
No.
Do you think he's dead?
The letter sounded like he committed suicide.
There's your
I think
answer.
it's cute.
Does that sound
But
like the
when he's
Raven?
posing as the
Being
Raven.
unmasked? Taking the easy way out?
My sentiments exactly. The Raven wouldn't commit murder, get caught, and then jump into the sea.
You don't want everything to be over, do you?
It's my chance to do something great. It can't be over yet.
At least you solved the murder of the Baroness. You're a hero.
That's not how the newspapers see it. Nor I. Something's missing. I can achieve more.
Careful, Constable. He who flies too close to the sun...
Is that the myth of Icarus?
To be honest, no. The story is Greek, and was only written down 1,000 years later. I was counting on the dramatic effect.
Oh, worked well enough. Let's assume that the thief is still out there. Who is he?
If all this were a novel, then it would be the one you least expect.
Is that intended to be a confession, Lady Westmacott?
What do we know about the new Raven?
He's a man who would stop at nothing.
Must it be a man? And how do we know that it's just one person? There could be several people collectively pretending to be the Raven.
So, we don't know anything.
That's not completely true. We know that he or she wants the Eye of the Sphinx, and will probably strike here, assuming he or she hasn't already gone.
It may be the end of the story for me, Lady Westmacott. Inspector Legrand will arrive soon and send me to the hotel. I'll return tonight for the gala, hoping all the while that the Raven does dare to attempt a burglary. Tomorrow morning, I'll have to return to Switzerland. What an unsatisfactory ending that would be.
It wouldn't be a triumphant ending, but it could be worse. At least you'd still be alive, Constable.
That's true.
Will you attend the gala tonight, Lady Westmacott?
But of course, the antiquities, the delightful atmosphere, and who knows, perhaps there will be another spectacular burglary.
And your cruise?
The ship doesn't leave until tomorrow, and believe me, I'd cancel the cruise for this.
As always, it was an entertaining and enlightening chat, Lady Westmacott.
I'm going to miss our little chats, Constable Zellner. Goodbye.
Alright, bye.
Ahoy, Matt.
The statue was talking.
The statue was talking?
Yes.
And what did it say?
It said it was...
That's a very bad word.
I know.
And an English one. Don't you think it's odd that an old Egyptian statue speaks English?
Don't you think it's odd that a statue speaks at all?
That would have been my next question. And, is the statue talking to you right now?
Do you think I'm nuts?
No, of course not. I just thought you might have much better ears than me. Ears that can hear statues.
Some cop you are, Mr. Zellner. This is a mystery, and you're just making jokes.
You're right. It's just...
Don't you believe me?
We both agree that a stone statue without a mouth or vocal cords cannot speak, right?
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Okay. That means you heard something else. And we have to find out what or who it was.
Roger.
I'm almost a bit envious of you. Going up the Nile on a ship, it must be great.
Yeah, I guess.
You don't sound so keen.
I think my mom wants the professor to come too.
And you don't? You can't tell me.
What if Mom marries the professor and doesn't work with the lady anymore? We'd have to move to London, and I'd have to go to a new school.
You could tell your mother that it's not okay with you. She'd never do anything against your will, would she?
I guess you're right. If I'm stubborn enough, she'll definitely send the professor packing. Thanks!
It's not what I meant, but okay.
This will all be over soon. Then I'll finally have time for you.
We wanted to head back to the hotel.
Certainly. And tonight at the gala, I'll show you around the museum, okay? And have you made up your mind about the cruise?
Well, I don't really know.
I only see you on vacation, Mom. And now you want the professor to come too? So I'll see you even less?
You're right. I'm sorry, Professor Lucien. I think it's best if you don't join us.
But Mary...
Professor, are you coming?
Maybe we can talk about this again tonight.
Should we go back to the hotel?
I want ice cream. Actually, Mr. Zellner still owes me some.
No, I don't. I won. I won. You won nothing, kid. Okay. answer's not here. Yeah.
I can't read what it says, but the cover features a dashing picture of Legrand. It shows an energetic young man photographed from beneath, against the sky. That's the look of a man who can catch a thief and murderer in a single day. I don't believe that Legrand spoke to the press himself. He doesn't seem to like the attention, and he wouldn't falsely take credit for something he hadn't done.
Yeah.
Exclusive and unique. The eyes of the Sphinx exhibited together for the first time ever. Hopefully the visitors will be satisfied with a single eye. Otherwise, all this effort will be for nothing.
For nothing.
Unfortunately, now it's just the eye of the Sphinx. But it's a bit too late to change the banner.
It's a Cyclops Sphinx. Just one eye. Who needs to?
Great moment. Professor Lucien, your key, please.
Yes. Well...
Come on, Professor.
But you have to realize that...
Thank you.
Weasley little man.
Finally! But...
Professor?
I wanted to give you this. Well...
Yep, know
After the burglary in London,
Know it.
I thought the eye might not be safe on its way to Egypt. So I secretly took it when I was supposed to place it in the safe in London.
How dare you?
I felt that I should leave the jewel to someone I trusted completely. Myself.
But the jewel was safe. From London to here, no one had an opportunity to steal it.
I beg your pardon, my dear colleague. But if that were true, I wouldn't have had it.
Congratulations, Professor Lucien. You fooled everyone, it seems. The honor is yours.
Go put it in the big heavy case.
Well, that's that. Shall I explain the security system to you, Inspector?
The French ambassador summoned me. I have to get in touch with him. The press is besieging the embassy, and I have to answer their questions.
But you absolutely must come tonight. The opening of the exhibition will be the highlight of the year, and you are my special guest.
I will see what I can do. Zellner, will you have a look at the security precautions?
Okay.
We'll see each other tonight.
Okay.
Of course, but...
Wait, Inspector. I'll join you.
Well, here we are. The Inspector will answer the reporter's questions for the next few hours. And well...
I won't take up too much of your time. I'll take a look around and then go lie down so that I'm ready for tonight. What's in the other display cases?
Other valuable originals. The eyes of the Sphinx would have been the highlights of our exhibition. Now that we only have one left, it doesn't really outshine the other valuables anymore. This room is full of world-class treasures.
How is the display case protected?
It's made of bulletproof glass that's several centimeters thick. You'd need heavy machinery to open it. But even the smallest disturbance of the display case will set off the alarm.
Oh, if people were looking at it in the museum and sneezed on it, it would shut the doors.
Doesn't look half bad. A glass cutter wouldn't be much use. Is the display case anchored to the floor?
Why do you ask?
The Raven once stole a whole display case in St. Petersburg instead of just taking the jewels out of it.
Such an attempt would fail here. The display case is bolted to the floor and weighs several hundred kilograms.
Okay.
Many people picture a stone coffin when they hear the word sarcophagus, but this one is wooden. As usual, an ornamental representation of the deceased is painted on the outside in gold and other colors. What's that? A camera?
The latest model. It's called video surveillance.
I've heard about that. The images are recorded and can be viewed again later.
That's right. Images from all 3 cameras are recorded in the guard room.
Wow.
As I've said, we've spared no effort and no expense.
I guess I leave now.
This here, the gate, how does it work?
If the alarm is set off, the metal gate descends. The same thing happens at the windows and the main entrance. The thief is trapped like a rat.
Okay.
As are we.
Next, I'll show you our guard room, the heart of the whole security system. And after that, I'll have to excuse myself.
Raven feather.
Alert the guards. Then call the French embassy. Legrand needs to come. We're being locked out.
Oh no.
Here, have a seat and try to calm down. He's pale and shaking, probably in shock. Director Mohta? Director, how can I open the metal gate?
He shouldn't have done that.
Director.
All the artifacts in the treasure chamber. He destroyed them.
And I will bring him to justice. But first, I have to get inside. He's pale and shaking, probably in shock. Perhaps I'll get something out of him in a couple of minutes.
You're just hoping.
That bloody bomber. I mean, the chamber was filled with irreplaceable treasures.
Hernia.
The gate is massive. I can't open it myself.
All right. Oh. Let's go to the front room then.
Constable Oliver!
Don't move.
What did you do?
I didn't do anything. But I'll tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna arrest you.
Put the pistol away.
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you?
Robert, be sensible.
Shut it.
Is he dead?
Just unconscious. Perhaps he can tell us who knocked him out.
Excellent.
Don't act all innocent. It was you.
I was in the treasure chamber with the director.
guy's a
You, on
dummy.
the other hand, had every opportunity to take the guard out.
I found him unconscious. I wanted to open the gates.
And make it easier for the Raven to escape?
That does it. On the floor. Hands behind your head.
Why aren't you in the embassy with Inspector Legrand talking to the press?
What are you talking about? Legrand refused to do it.
What?
He told the ambassador that he'd rather walk through the desert for 40 years than give interviews for 40 minutes.
That's suspicious.
We have to open the treasure chamber's gate. I suspect there's a secret entrance.
No, we should open the main entrance and call for help.
Robert, think. The Raven is inside the museum, and so are we. We could catch him, but we have to give chase immediately. The two of us can finish it here and now.
You just want to confuse me.
Robert, I don't think you knocked this man out, but neither did I. I was with the director the entire time. Ask him.
That doesn't mean you aren't involved somehow. You could be working with the Raven.
So could you. We can suspect each other, open the exits, and offer the Raven every possible escape route. Or we can bring him to justice right here, right now.
No, okay. But just get this straight. I don't trust you. I'll keep an eye on you, and if you try to get away...
Understood. I'll try to open the gate to the treasure chamber now. I'd appreciate it if you'd refrain from accidentally shooting me.
No tricks, Zelna. And if we don't find anything in the treasure chamber, we'll open the gate at the main entrance and call Inspector Legrand.
Of course.
Alrighty.
What are you doing?
I was looking for this.
Keys.
I think he's okay. After we've checked the treasure chamber, we should call an ambulance. Maybe someone stirred something into the coffee and poisoned him with it. But the bump on the back of his head would indicate otherwise. Various bits and bobs for the office routine. Looks like even the guards can't avoid mountains of paperwork. Dead. We can't call for help. The line's dead. Does the alarm system call the police automatically? If not, or if it was also disconnected, I'm not sure that anyone out there knows what's happening inside the museum. I guess no one heard the explosion from outside. The treasure chamber doesn't have any windows, and the metal gates that came down could just be part of a test.
Interesting.
Locked.
I have keys.
Blueprints for the museum. Every gate seems to be controlled by its own switch. This should be the gate for the treasure chamber. That's it. There's nothing more I can do here. A monitor, probably for viewing the security cameras. There are 5 buttons down here, 3 of them labeled. Camera 1, Camera 2, Camera 3. This should be the one in the treasure chamber. As I expected, it didn't survive the explosion. All right, how do I... Fantastic. That's me, with the director. Now it's getting exciting. What on earth?
You damaged it.
No, I didn't. Someone must have turned the camera off. Or... no, it's still recording, but something's covering the lens. There. That was the explosion. Interesting.
Why is it interesting?
Someone was in the treasure chamber, and they disabled the camera. And, just a few minutes later, the alarm went off and everything blew up. The burglar hardly had time to prepare a targeted explosion, right? One more reason to go and see what happened in the treasure chamber. Constable Oliver can't honestly think that I'm the Raven. He must realize that I never had a chance to set a bomb. Although he may think that I could be an accomplice, as could he. I'll grin and bear it. As long as he's nearby, he can't cause any trouble. And if I have to get rid of him, I'm sure something will occur to me.
Where do you think you're going?
I'm searching for a way into the treasure chamber, which is exactly what you should be doing.
I'll give you 5 minutes. Then we'll follow my plan. Open the main entrance and call for backup.
Let's hope for both our sakes that I find a way into the treasure chamber before then. I don't want to be responsible for the escape of the Raven. Director Mokhtar, I can't open the gate. Is there another way into the treasure chamber?
No. Only one way. Only one.
The director won't help me. Whether I want to or not, I have to stick with the constable. Do you have any idea how we can open the gate?
We've got to open the main gate and call for backup.
No. You gave me 5 minutes and my time isn't up yet. That might help. Constable? It's moving. No, not quite there yet. The lances look sturdy, but they also seem to be firmly connected to the figures. Maybe I can break them off. On the other hand, there's been enough destruction today.
Okay.
This security gate is also closed. Once the alarm went off, no one could have left through the official exits. It fits.
It fits, it sits.
All right. It has to work. Constable Oliver, could you lend me a hand? On 3. 1, 2, 3! Director Mokhtar, hurry! Put something under the gate!
Huh?
Director!
No luck.
It won't open any further.
Put it down, quick! That'll hold it.
I wouldn't bet on it. We should hurry.
And inform Inspector Legrand.
First, I'll get an overview of the situation.
You don't think I'm going to leave you all alone with a jewel, do you?
I doubt that the jewel is still in the treasure chamber.
But how?
I'll be watching you.
Then you'll have to come with me.
If you haven't heard anything from me in 5 minutes, me, not Constable Zellner, then open the entrance and call for help. Understood?
Okay.
Whoa, indeed. Let's hope that at least some of the artifacts withstood the explosion. Why didn't he just drive through the wall with a tank? Reckless ignoramus. The remains of the cordon. Give me some light. I suppose the camera was hit by a chunk of flying debris. Fortunately, the ceiling is quite high, and the gate was still ajar. Otherwise, nothing in this room would have survived the shockwave. It will take a long time to clean and restore everything, and some things are surely lost. Forever.
You don't want to go down there, do you?
That's how the eye left the treasure chamber.
Oh no. No way. We've seen enough. The Raven is gone. We need to get Legrand. Great. You happy now?
You could say that. Will you give me some light? What do you think about this?
It's a right mess.
You can say that again. Would you give me your flashlight?
You can't seriously expect me to say yes.
No, not really. So at least give me a bit of light. This explosion was much more intense than the one in London, wasn't it?
You can say that again. Imagine what would have happened if the bomb had gone off tonight.
He didn't risk it. We must have made him nervous.
He couldn't have chosen a better time. Legrand isn't here. There are only a couple of guards and almost no witnesses.
Still, I would have thought he'd wait. Remember the train? Our opponent has a penchant for drama. He's vain and wants as much publicity as possible.
Even vain people don't want to go to jail.
True enough. It seems like the question of backup has been settled. We can't open the door from the inside.
The director will surely contact Legrand. He'll be outside the door with a full squad in no time.
I wouldn't bet on it. The thief was in the guard room and knocked out the guard. What was he up to there? He didn't disable the alarm. Maybe the phone lines.
Someone will notice the metal shutters on the windows.
Sooner or later, sure. Until they do, we have time to solve the case. Okay then. So what do we do now? The clasps aren't really made for heavy weights, but I think they're strong enough. Come on, I can't see. There's the display case.
Is the jewel still in it?
I can't tell.
Hello?
I hope you don't expect anyone to answer you. Not the best rope in the world, but it will have to do. I let myself down into the hole with the rope.
You can't be serious.
This isn't a matter for discussion. I'm going down there. You can join me or stay here.
But you don't know what or who is down there.
That's why I want to go down there. Besides, maybe I'll find an escape route for us.
All right then. Should I hold the rope?
Yes, thanks. I'm down. Give me some light, Robert.
Zellner down.
Are you all right?
Yes. Have you found an escape route?
I'm working on it. Shine the light over there, please. Interesting. Documents, maps, letters, all of them at least 20, 30 years old. I wonder how the Raven knew about the secret basement. He must have done some research and then paid someone for the missing information. What's that?
Hey, don't go too far away.
Come down and stop me, or stay there and give me some light. Interesting. Some kind of wooden hatch. There are 2 hinges on this side. There's a kind of metal hook holding the hatch closed. I'm the talking statue. I really like to teach bad words to the little boys. At least that riddle is solved now. Peepholes. And I suspect, yes. The Raven couldn't have gone this way. We'd have seen him and he couldn't have closed the bolt from outside. There must be another entrance.
Why is it suddenly so bright down there?
I found the light switch. I have to hurry. The gates will open sooner or later, and then the museum will be crawling with people. Various containers. Maybe they contained funerary objects. The lids depict animals and a person. That alone doesn't really help me. Various containers. The museum still has plenty to offer, despite the senseless destruction in the treasure chamber. The museum still has plenty.
Oh my god. Yeah.
Zelna, is that you?
It is I, the Raven.
Did you find an exit?
No, I'm still looking. The basement is quite large.
Okay, don't go too far away.
There are cracks in the wall and scuff marks on the floor.
A secret door?
And probably the Raven's escape route.
Can you open it?
There are several panels and kind of a handle, but I can't turn or pull or push it. Something's written here, but it's too dark. Hurry down with the light.
No, the Raven is trapped. We should call Legrand.
Do you think this door leads to a dead end? With every minute we hesitate, the Raven's trail is getting colder.
But we should take it one step at a time. We're alone, and the Raven is dangerous.
What would Nicholas Legrand do in this situation? Would he wait for backup and twiddle his thumbs, or would he act?
Oh, blast.
Robert, this is our moment. Time to show them all. When the others arrive, they'll see that we didn't just dare to enter the basement. No, we also found an escape route and opened it. How do you think that will sound on the police report? Constable Oliver and Constable Zellner laid the foundation for the arrest of the Raven with competence and quick thinking.
Okay, here's what we do. I'll hand you the lamp, and you open the door. Then we
Hey,
guard
Trucker
the door
Chip.
and wait for backup.
I
No
couldn't have
thumb
put it
twiddling
better
here,
myself.
folks. Yeah.
Right. Catch. But
Trying to
hurry.
catch the
I don't
Raven,
wanna think about
or
the fact that I'm standing here
the
in
person
dark,
posing as
surrounded
the
by
Raven.
mummies.
That's better.
Still don't understand why he wouldn't bring it with him. Why? Why wouldn't you just bring it with you? How are you? Good weekend?
That is
mostly.
interesting. 4 discs.
Friday was in a lot of pain, hence
An
no
extravagant
stream,
combination
and
lock. If
the
it
weekend
was
I
just
slowly
another
got better.
language with a Latin alphabet, I might be able to guess the meaning, but I'm lost when
Oh
it
my
comes to
God.
Arabic.
Just write it down.
I'll write them down.
Stop talking.
It could be a hint about how to open the door.
My God. Yeah, my weekend was okay. Kind of have a little bit of a headache today, not as bad as it was on Friday, but like the Friday one was my whole body and my head. So. How was your weekend? I'm sorry to hear it was a rough start. Hugs. Big hugs. I hope yours was a lot better than mine. It's basically what I'm getting to. Our weather's been all over the place too, so that doesn't help.
What are you doing here? You were just...
I found another exit.
The eye?
Gone. The Raven blasted a hole in the floor of the treasure chamber. There's a hidden basement beneath it.
And the other treasures?
It doesn't look good.
Oh no.
Director Mokhtar?
Isn't it about time to open the gates?
I don't believe that the police have arrived yet. We can't risk giving the Raven a means of escape.
That monster is surely long gone by now.
No.
Perhaps not. I have a lead.
Do your best. As soon as the police have surrounded the building, I'll open the gates.
Very well, Director. I found this Arabic writing. What does it mean?
It says, the sons of Horus.
And that means?
Is this really the time to discuss history?
It's important.
The sons of Horus played an important part in the burial ritual. 4 sons, 4 canopic jars, vessels in which the liver, lungs, stomach, and intestines of the body were stored.
Are the 4 connected to symbols?
A man, baboon, jackal, and falcon. Look downstairs in the main hall.
Sons of Horus, vessels and intestines. Got it.
Ew. Early finish Saturday was welcome. We went into the town for a few things, but I was very tired by evening. We went for a nice long walk Sunday. The weather has been great before it gets wet again this week. Yeah, ours has just been wet, like raining consistently enough that my head just gets to pounding. Like right now it's sunny outside and it's beautiful. But early this morning it was just gray and cold. Like it needs to balance out or something because it's killing me. It's killing me.
The basement below the treasure chamber. Did you know about it?
I had no idea.
There are maps and drawings from the Second World War in the room. Why?
Well, it may have had something to do with the resistance.
Resistance?
Egypt was occupied by the British. There was a movement for independence.
The Egyptians collaborated with the Nazis?
No, but the enemy of my enemy.
Oh.
So, the rebels reported information to the Nazis.
That's
and
horrible.
for that, they needed secret command posts.
Yes, and what would be of more symbolic importance than the Egyptian Museum, witness to 5,000 years of Egyptian independence?
Oh, well.
Hidden rooms? Secret basements? What are they doing here?
The museum was built in 1900 by a Frenchman who had a penchant for such things.
Mystical torchlight ceremonies celebrating the builders of old? Freemasons? Things like that?
Many great buildings have complicated histories.
That's very
and
true.
today, we're going to write a new chapter. It's going to be okay. Wait here.
Where is the constable, anyway?
He's guarding the treasure chamber.
He told me to call for backup if he doesn't come back in about 5 minutes. And that I shouldn't trust you.
If you count on the constable, you're backing the wrong horse.
He's Legrand's man.
Did you ever think about the fact that he's the only one who was present at both burglaries?
Oh.
Alright, bye Mukhtar. I'm gonna go to the basement and try to open it. Well, I gotta go to the one area and then try to open the door after I figure stuff out. Forget what order they go in.
Sarcophagus from the Old Kingdom. Unknown ruler. Here we go. On the front, you can see the tutelary deities Amset and Happy. At a later date, it became traditional to show all 4 sons of Horus on all 4 sides of the sarcophagus. Each son signified a cardinal direction. Happy, the north; Amset, the south; Quebec-Senuef, the west; and Duamutef, the east. Each son of Horus is associated with a cardinal. Happy is the...
Yeah.
There are actually 2 of the 4 sons of Horus on the front side of the sarcophagus. A man and a monkey.
A man and a monkey. Coming this fall to CBS. The hit show A Man and a Monkey.
Each son of Horus is associated with a cardinal direction and a symbol.
It's literally nothing happens in the show. It's just them sitting there. The monkey just eating bananas. And the man just sitting there also eating bananas, but dressed in a monkey, like, sleeping outfit.
Must be the canopic jars the director was talking about. 1 jar for each of the 4 sons of Horus.
Okay. Okay, so Anubis. And then there's the man.
Quebec-Senuef, intestines.
Worth the subscription alone, yes. Man and a monkey. They just sit there and do nothing on a couch. They watch you into the camera, and you watch them as they eat bananas.
Quebec-Senuef, intestines.
Ew.
Happy, lungs. The sign says Amset, liver. Here we have Duamutef, stomach.
Ew. So, trivia. What is the one organ in the body that the Egyptians did not care to put in a canoptic jar that actually has significance to the human body?
Here we have
Alright, how do I leave? I want to leave. There we go.
The 4 sons of Horus, Amset, Hapi, Duamutef, and Quebec-Senuef, are children of the god Horus the Elder and the goddess Isis. They are believed to protect canopic jars, which contain the internal organs of people who were mummified in ancient Egypt. As stellar gods, they are associated with the 4 cardinal directions. For that reason, their names were written on the 4 corners of the coffins during the Middle Kingdom period.
That's a lot. The answer is the brain. They just discarded the brain like it was trash. Pull it out the nose. Which sounds like a task in itself. But go around the chair. Come on. Okay. This one. This one. think the baboon stays on the top, and then the man on the bottom? Yeah. Okay. Yay, I opened the secret door.
There we go.
Yes. A special tool for that. Right out the nose, yikes. Yeah, and it was heated up so it would stick to the brain and pull it. Which, just imagine the arm power for that. That's just ridiculous.
He's up there, Robert. I know that.
That may be. Go into the guard room and open the gates.
Tell the director.
Zelna, don't do it. It's too dangerous.
You can't stop me. Not anymore.
Screw you guys. I'm gonna go search after the Raven.
200 steps at least. And a ladder. I'm too old for this.
It's okay, Zellner. I know the truth behind you, but I'm not gonna give it away.
The chair is the only object that's not covered with dust. It seems like someone sat on it recently. Handcuffs. Not what I expected. Was someone interrogated here?
Maybe?
The Raven, if I'm not mistaken. Why don't you step into the light?
Mr. Inch! Mr. Alfred Inch!
Mr. Inch.
The creepy
Amazing.
one.
Truly amazing. I thought young Legrand would be my most dangerous opponent, but it seems I should have had more respect for age.
And the bomb on the train? Did you want to kill us all?
I knew that Legrand would be hot on my heels after the heist in London. He's a dangerous man, Mr. Zellner. He almost caught me once.
Is that a reason to resort to murder?
It wasn't my only reason. An eye for an eye, Constable Zellner.
What about the murder of the Baroness? Was that also your doing?
The death of the Baroness was never part of the plan. Dr. Gebhardt had a score to settle with her and got in my way.
You didn't care about the key to the safe?
I never wanted to steal the eye out of the safe. I always intended to strike here, in the museum.
What about Gebhardt's confession?
A nice idea, don't you think? It keeps the inspector out of my hair, for a few more hours at least, until everything collapses like a house of cards.
Like a flan in a cupboard.
Why did you want to steal the second eye here?
The eye was in the bank in Zurich for a long time, impossible to get at. Then the safe on the ship in Legrand's cabin, too complicated. I heard about the secret basement and found out how the security system worked. I would have preferred to save my performance for the gala this evening, but, well, events demanded a change of schedule, not least because of you, my nosy friend.
How did you do it? How did you plant the message on the safe in the train? How did you know that Gebhardt killed the Baroness? And the demolition charge below the treasure chamber? How did you manage it all?
Just how?
Even if your arm isn't lame.
Oh, it is, believe me. I needed help, it's true. A messenger boy to replace my arms and legs.
A messenger boy?
Ah, Adil. This could be interesting. He's quite talented, but unreliable. He has a mind of his own plans. Don't you, Adil?
I never wanted blood to be shed, but it's time to make an exception.
Really? You're gonna aim for his knee and your gun doesn't even work?
He only forgot one thing. I keep things firmly in hand. Always. End of story.
Ooh, he must be bruised. Sorry. Didn't mean to go there, but I had to. You left the door wide open on that one. Alright, so now we're going to be playing as Abdil, so I'm going to take a short break so I can go stretch after when he gets done just staring at people and being awkward. I was trying to pause the game, but it accidentally skipped the cutscene. So this is backtracking to before everybody got on the train.
That didn't quite go according to plan, did it?
So we're back in Zurich again.
I hate it when things don't go according to plan.
You nearly killed them.
You let them catch you.
It
It wasn't my fault.
Sure.
Scotland Yard was there.
If I thought it was your fault, you'd already be bobbing in the River Thames with a bullet in your head. Someone tipped them off. I don't know who, but I'm going to find out. Where is the jewel?
Right here.
Marvelous. But it's just half the set, and stealing the second eye will be more difficult than I'd anticipated.
Okay, now I can take a break. Because they're just gonna stare at each other and see, even Adil knows that Inch is freaking creepy. So I'm gonna take a quick break and stretch because my body's starting to hurt. But then we'll continue with the Raven. So I'll be right back. And I am back. Stretched for a little bit, but I'm not stretching too much today, just enough to try to alleviate some of the pain. But, because I have PT today. I'm going back to PT, finally. So, that's not till when I'll be in more pain, but yeah, I'm back. Plus, I had to get another soda. Caffeine free, though, so it should be fine. Whee! Yes, you do. It's caffeine free Pepsi, because I like that flavor better than regular Pepsi. Plus, my room is really warm and I need something cold. My water's not really cold, it's like room temperature now. Alright, so we heard a shot, and now we're in the past to before everybody boarded the train, and we're playing as Abdil now, being bossed around by Mr. Inch. Dumb name to begin with, dumb name, but he is creepy.
Why are we meeting here and not in Venice like we planned?
London drew more attention than planned. They put Legrand on the case.
Nicholas Legrand?
He's searching the train.
Shouldn't we postpone the plan under these circumstances?
On the contrary, I gave him an anonymous tip.
A tip?
I told him that the train will be robbed.
Sure.
You don't seriously suggest that we steal the jewel right under Legrand's nose?
Of course, because I'm an idiot. Our best bet is still Cairo. Everything is prepared.
Hello, Blind
Mr. X
Adam.
will provide us with everything we need.
I hope work is well.
I'll go to Venice together with the Baroness and board the ship there. You'll do the same, but as surreptitiously as possible.
All right.
And under no circumstances can anyone be permitted to
SSDD.
discover our relationship. Yep. Understood?
And the rest of the plan is as before?
We just have to get on board the ship.
Then I'll get in the car and we'll meet in Venice.
No, Legrand necessitates a change of plan. You'll go by train as well, and place this envelope on the safe as soon as the train halts in the tunnel. I'll cause a blackout so that you can sneak past the guard. You won't believe who's guarding the safe. That blasted Bobby from London. If you have any trouble, cave his skull in.
And Legrand?
You mean Roger?
You take care of the letter. I'll take care of everything else.
I like
the
Roger.
The most important thing is that no one recognizes you on the train.
And that I don't get caught.
Oh, since you are here, just really quick before I continue on with our conversing, I'm trying to finish this week so that we get the conclusion to this game, which, I mean, we still have a little bit more to play for today, but I should be done by Friday. And then next week, I was gifted a game by Blind Adam, and I plan to start playing it on the stream. It's called Nightingale, and it's a lot of fun. It's still in early access, though, so there's going to be a lot of issues with it, but they should be funny issues.
What's the purpose of the letter?
That's not your concern.
I'd just like to know whether I'm risking my life for some game of yours, or whether it's worth it.
Any one of my
like
games
Mr.
would be
Inch.
worth your life. You just do what I tell you.
Looking forward to it.
Stick
Yes,
the
me
letter
too.
on the door of the safe or leave it on top of it. I don't care. But the letter has to be there as soon as Legrand shows up after the blackout to make sure everything is in order. Understood?
Yes.
What?
Yes, understood.
Understood.
Hasn't the Baroness grown suspicious?
She's wrapped up in a veil of alcohol, arrogance, and disinterest. Only flattery, gossip, and Belgian chocolate can penetrate it.
Ideal conditions.
I'll be glad to be rid of that old hag. She's my ticket to the most important museums in Europe. But these have been the longest 6 months of my life.
Poor Mr. Inch. He deserves every second of it.
How are the injured guards doing?
How the devil should I know?
You didn't need to do that.
What? save your bacon.
I'd have made
I
it
like
out
bacon.
on my own.
Oh, yes, the poor security guard. It really wasn't necessary. I'm such a naughty boy.
Oh, please never say that again,
Just
Mr.
don't want
Inch.
anyone to get hurt.
Oh, please, please, don't be angry with me. I won't do it again.
I don't know. We have the first eye, and we only just escaped.
Tell me you're not suggesting that we should be satisfied with that? One eye alone is nothing more than an expensive bauble, but both eyes together are a legend.
I know, right?
Greatest
Super
triumph.
cringe.
Shouldn't I put the
All
eye
right,
somewhere
have
for
fun at work,
safekeeping?
Blind
Just
Adam.
in case Legrand searches our things.
I'll
I'll
talk to
hide
you
the
later.
jewel in the Baroness's luggage. I already know where. Legrand won't dare search her belongings, and even then, he'll never be able to open the secret compartment.
Okay, so we'll see each other in Venice.
And not sooner. Here, take your travel documents. We may not have an opportunity to meet in Venice.
Mr. Inch is creepy,
fine.
creepy.
Huh, that's the first change of plans so far. Whatever. Looks like I'll be going to Venice by train.
Okay.
The crate must have had bananas or something in it. It's empty now. It's built out of thin wooden boards. Probably didn't have to bear much weight. Huh. I could probably pry the bottom boards off without too much effort. They're thin, and the nails are short.
With all these people just standing around him. Nobody'll notice that I punched the bottom of the box off.
Perfect. It looks like a normal crate. It's now or never.
Steal the doctor's bag or make it think it's stolen.
Hey, you! Scram!
Yes, sir.
Rolling his eyes, nice.
Let the games begin.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Can't you see that I am talking to the constable? The train is leaving in a few minutes, sir. I have to ask you to board it now.
We should get on. Perhaps we'll be able to continue our conversation during the trip.
I won't stand in the way. Oh, where's my bag?
You left it right there.
I know that. I want to know where it is now.
I don't know. I'll look for it right away. If you gentlemen would get on the train in the meantime...
I will hold you and your employers liable for this.
I'm sure he'll find the bag. Come on, Dr. Gebhardt. I will help you with your luggage.
Fine.
And by help, he means walk in front of him while he carries his own luggage.
Burglary in British Museum. 1 casualty. 5,000 pounds damage. Culprit unknown. Return of the Raven? I'd have escaped anyway. But Inch just couldn't resist playing with dynamite. I hope the security guard recovers soon.
Literally with dynamite.
The conductor doesn't really seem to know where to search for the lost bag. Finding a particular piece of luggage at a railway station is like finding a needle in a haystack. You seem to be searching for something. Can I help?
Go away. There's no money to be earned here.
That's not what I mean. I just thought, if you're looking for a brown bag...
Why? Did you steal one?
If that were true, I wouldn't be offering to help you. I saw a little blonde boy take the bag. He ran off with it, over there.
Really? Thanks.
Time to knock him out and steal his clothes.
Isn't that the bag?
Where?
Ow.
Nothing personal.
I just need to strip you and take your uniform and wear your uniform. Don't lose your shoes.
No! Oh, man!
But it's not personal.
You'll get in touch if you notice anything unusual, won't you, Professor?
Of course.
Not personal in the least.
The door. I can't open it.
Let me have a look. The compartment is locked.
Damn, I can't let the professor see me. I shadowed him for days in London. He might recognize me.
Calm down, Professor. I'll see what I can do.
You don't understand. I have to get back to my compartment.
All right, just wait here.
Professor Lucien seems to travel light. The Baroness's luggage takes up half a freight car.
Surprised she didn't bring her whole house with her.
My God, I barely look like myself. I'm not as good as the Raven at slipping into other roles. He's had decades to perfect it. Whatever. It'll be good enough for the people on the train. Professor Lucien hasn't slept a single night in the cabin yet. The towel is unused.
My towel now.
If I twisted it, then I'd have a sort of rope. The sink. The sink. No, that won't help me now.
Okay. Well, we gotta get out of this room,
It was
so...
the only window that was open in the station, so it was a good way to get onto the train. And now, it might be my only way out. The window to the right should be the Baroness's cabin, and the one on the left is the saloon car. The roof could be my escape route.
Let's see.
A handy Swiss Army knife.
Yeah.
If I stand up, my head is level with the roof, but the roof is too slanted and smooth to climb.
It's really good window framing because he's standing right on it.
Those are air ducts or something, but I can't reach them with my hands.
How about the towel you're holding?
Whew. There's nothing quite like traveling on a train.
Literally, on, and not in it.
The ventilation shaft supplies the freight car with fresh air. It also seems big enough to climb through. I'd say I found my way in.
Okay. Well, I'm not gonna go in that yet.
Hey, my pistol!
You'll get it back in Venice. Frightening me like that. I could have fallen under the wheels.
I thought you were a ghost.
Ghosts don't exist.
They do too. One just flew past my window.
Be off with you.
Oh, man.
I remember that conversation.
Ah, I can use these.
Phew, that was close. He left the lock open. How convenient. Let's see. A wrench, you don't say. This is too easy. I should be able to move about freely in the train, as long as I keep away from Professor Lucien. The other guests don't know me, and conductors change several times during the journey. A new face shouldn't seem suspicious to anyone.
Young man,
Yes, sir?
tell me, when did they switch to self-service on the Orient Express? Should they not have informed the passengers about that in advance?
Forgive me, sir. I was...
And what about my bag? Did your colleague find it?
I'm sorry, sir. I don't know.
I expected as much. There will be consequences.
Yes,
And now,
yes there will.
bring me my coffee.
Of course, sir.
And bring you coffee. You can have coffee.
Asshole.
Oh. really does not
Huh,
like
a
Gebhardt.
dish with old people's candy. Butterscotch, I think.
Take some butterscotch. Nom nom nom.
Beer, wine, champagne, gin, brandy, and whiskey. The richest snobs take the same medicine as the poorest slobs. Some people would need a drink to steady their nerves, doing what I'm doing, but not me. I want a clear head if I'm gonna get this envelope onto the safe.
Hashtag humble brag. Oh my god.
Even pigs get to drink from the finest porcelain. Locked.
I has key.
Let's see.
Open key.
It fits.
Open drawer key.
Huh. A lot of odds and ends. A hairnet, batteries, a half-pack of cigarettes, an unused toothbrush. The bartender probably has to serve as a jack-of-all-trades, like a concierge in a hotel. So, is there anything useful?
Makes me think that the pack of cigarettes was cut down the middle.
Mirror.
Because how can you tell it's a half pack of cigarettes if you're not picking it up and opening it?
No, I don't need anything else. A small portable radio. The reception is surprisingly good here in the mountains. I won't be able to use the radio, but the antenna, on the other hand, a thin, short metal rod that can be extended. Something like that might come in handy.
Yeah.
If I mess with the doctor, I might blow my cover. So I'll have to grin and bear it and serve our esteemed passenger his coffee.
Yeah. You serve him coffee. That's one experienced smoker to know it's
There's
half
some
full
coffee
from the
left.
weight. He didn't even touch it. He didn't even touch the pack, just staring in a drawer. You telling me he knows? He must have X-ray vision or something.
A cup of coffee for the gentleman.
Do you know what the problem with people like you is?
You mean our lack of a sense of duty, or our skin color, or a lack of respect for our elders? We have so many flaws.
Yeah, he was just standing there staring into the drawer.
He didn't even want to hear why it took so long to get his coffee. He just wanted to tear into someone. Just wanted to assert his will. It's a sad life if you have to pump yourself up by deflating others.
Huh. Yeah. Alright. I gotta go this way.
The old lady didn't get on in Zurich, and she doesn't look like someone from Nancy or Basel. I'm guessing she boarded in Paris. She seems familiar somehow. I've seen her someplace before. Maybe she used to be an actress, and I recognize her from photos. She has the confidence of someone who doesn't have to prove herself anymore. She's rich, that's for sure, but it's not just that. I'd better not talk to her. Her eyes are intelligent and observant. Something tells me I'd only make life difficult for myself if I try to pull the wool over her eyes.
And I'm going to steal that ball of
The
wool.
elderly woman's carer can't keep her hands still, so she's knitting.
Stop knitting right now. I'm going to steal your ball of wool.
Can I bring you ladies anything? Is everything satisfactory?
Everything is wonderful, young man.
Very good.
Yoink.
Got it. They should have been able to open the door with pliers. I think the coast is clear. I assume Inch is also in the compartment. He'll probably find some excuse to sneak out to trigger the blackout and engage the emergency brakes. No idea how he expects to pull that off. He usually leaves me in the dark about such things. Even after months of partnership, he still doesn't trust me completely. Just a few more days, and I'll finally be rid of that creep. And until then, he has to burn in his own personal hell with the Baroness. A nice thought.
A very nice thought, because that guy's
Obviously,
creepy.
they managed to open the door. I wonder who or what the archaeologist thinks locked it. Did he connect it to the burglary in London? Probably not.
Just gonna say this directly outside of the door.
Huh. Is this a Stradivarius or something like that? If it is, maybe I should take it with me during the blackout. With any luck, I'm gonna be a happy family man soon, and I'll need a few francs, lira, or marks. Some maps, info for travelers, some pictures, and the schedule, all neatly hung up with magnets.
Ooh, I want magnets. I like magnets. Give me magnets.
Maybe. The big map shows the different routes the Orient Express took in the course of its long history. It's larger than the other notices, and thus hung up with larger magnets. I'll take one with me.
Yay, magnet. Always useful.
Some of the photos are rather nice. Professional work. Climbing over the coal car is the only way to get into the driver's cab while the train is moving. I can't imagine Inch climbing over it to trigger a blackout up front. I bet he paid someone to do his dirty work. Inch almost never takes personal risks, and usually he tries to keep his hands clean.
Usually, except for the fact that he's, you know, blowing up things now. Onward! Up.
The cover has two hinges on the back. It's possible to open it, but the two screws on the front hold it closed. Huh, if I have to. That should do it.
Butterscotch.
It sticks. Okay, the candy is so sticky that it'll hold the mirror without any trouble. As I expected, it sticks. I'll tie the magnet to the string. Done. I can't see anything but the rear of the car through the slots. And that won't do. What I really need is a view of the front.
If only I could see the front.
There's the guard. The safe is directly beneath the ventilation shaft. I could shimmy down the shaft and hit him on the head from behind. Uh-oh.
Are you okay, Robert?
Nothing to report, sir.
At ease.
Any suspicious passengers come aboard in Zurich, sir?
Not really. It could be anyone and no one. But we've received support from the Swiss police. A certain Constable Zellner.
Oh?
Very motivated. Might get on our nerves.
That limits my options. I can't overpower two people. I don't think I'll be able to slip into the carriage unseen after all. Oh, there has to be a way. I have to keep Inch happy.
Just
How do I
certain
get
words
you
should not
onto
go
the
together.
Safe, or on top of it. The safe is directly beneath the ventilation shaft. And Inch said something about a blackout and a tunnel. I could use the moments of confusion and darkness to toss the letter onto the safe. Might work, as long as I manage to open the ventilation shaft and choose the right moment. I could unscrew the screws, but I should only open the cover inside the tunnel.
Okay, time for a cutscene.
What was that?
Whoops.
Sir! Must have fallen out.
Put that on the floor.
Yes, sir.
That was close. If the second screw makes that much noise, it's over for me.
Good thing I got that magnet.
All right. We should...
What? The light's gone out.
Flashlights!
There's a 2-cop pileup.
Ah, get off me.
There, sir. An envelope.
Raven.
My dear Nico, you should take a closer look at the box.
What the dickens? It's a...
Away with it! Take cover!
It's funny because that explosion sound sounded like there was a percolator of coffee behind it, like a... Somebody was making coffee. And now I kind of want coffee. Bomb!
What was the point of the bomb?
Isn't that obvious? I wanted to dispose of Legrand as spectacularly as possible.
You almost disposed of me as well.
Did I not tell you to deliver the letter and leave immediately?
People could have died.
But of course, that was the point of the bomb.
I don't want to hurt anyone. You know that.
And you know that I don't care what you want. Obey my orders and nothing will happen to you, and you'll soon be a rich man.
I just want to know how this kid is, like, still following this guy. Like, if all Inch wants to do is kill people, then Abdil should just stab, stab, poke, poke.
I won't blindly obey orders anymore. I want to know what the plan is.
You know as much as you need to know. We will steal the second eye in Cairo before the eyes of the world. The theft of the first eye got everyone's attention. Legrand's death would have increased the excitement immeasurably, but this will do just as well. We'll have a showdown instead. The Raven versus the Inspector. That should also electrify the press.
Why are you doing this? I thought it was about the jewels. Why are we making life difficult for ourselves and attracting so much attention?
It's about more than that. It's about performing on the greatest stage of all. About the end of a legend. You'll see.
Oh my god, they talk so much. I'm just waiting so I can read the message you sent me. He's hoping to get the coffee he keeps hearing in the distance. Yes, that is one thing that I'm hoping to do eventually too. I may end up making myself coffee today.
But
James?
James!
But
where on earth are you?
During the trip, we'll keep a low profile and steer clear of Legrand.
I lost the ticket and the fake passport.
I swear, if my arm was still good enough to climb, I'd have disposed of you long ago. Ah, well. I'd prefer that no one see you while you're on board. Smuggle yourself on board and stay under cover until Cairo.
Okay.
And no more games. Nothing that Legrand, the police, or anyone else could do to you compares to what I will do to you if you don't follow my plan.
Okay.
James, there you are. Is the inspector to carry my luggage onto the ship all by himself?
He thinks he knows me. He thinks I'm stupid and weak. I have him right where I want him. Here's a young thief who'll show an old-timer how it's done.
He's looking for
Even
the
if it
coffee.
means a bit of solitary confinement.
Yep, he's looking for the coffee.
I hope the dock workers have left the cargo hold. I better just take a peek. Or at least I'd take a peek if it were possible to open it. Okay, where's the screwdriver? Knife. There's the screwdriver. So, if I just turn this... aha! Oh, you're kidding me!
Nope. No kidding.
Seems to be a strap for holding something on the shelf above the trunk. Unfortunately, I can't reach the clasp.
So, you have a knife. Use the knife. Oops.
Oh, brilliant! Hopefully the clasp won't slip out of the box when I pull the strap. The pipe rolled up against the shelf, but it's still out of my reach. All right then. I'll just drive the blade through the end of the strap. It's worth a try. Ta-da!
Ta-da!
2 metal pipes, stable, about 10 meters apart.
Huh.
The ship may be showing its age, but those pipes look more than sturdy enough. That should hold. My best chance. Steady as a rock. Elegant.
Aww.
Oh, great. Okay, I'll tie him up and then get out of here before they start looking for him. And I already have an idea where I can hide.
Yay.
I can't imagine that he'd just leave.
Yeah, and without saying goodbye either.
No need to be frightened, young lady.
What are you doing here?
I wanted to see you.
This is hardly the time or the place.
I told
What
you she had a
happened on the
British
train?
accent.
Nothing bad. Everyone is fine.
Told
Inch is
you.
dangerous. I warned you.
I know. That's why we're being careful. And you have a smart and handsome young thief at your side.
And humble, too.
Don't worry. I'll take care of you.
What have I done to deserve luck like this?
I told you. I recognize that voice. Hey, perfect timing. So this is where we're going to call it for today. I will be playing this again on Wednesday and Friday if we're not done on Wednesday, which we're pretty close. We're on like chapter 3, and I think there's only 3 chapters. I'm not sure. But yeah. Actually, I just want to make sure there's no cutscene after when I hit like continue, because yeah, there's a cutscene. We'll do the cutscene real quick, and then I'll hop off.
Bothers me. He's shown what he's capable of. What if he finds out about our plan?
How would he? We're careful.
He's more ruthless than we expected. The bomb on the train. I don't want to think about it.
We need to make sure that we stay calm.
You mean that I stay calm?
I'm not worried about you. I know you.
Okay. Okay.
Shall we go over the plan one more time?
Good idea. We know that Inch hid the first eye in the Baroness's luggage.
I'll break into her cabin and replace the eye with a fake.
Right. We'll steal the second eye in Cairo.
And Inch will be caught in the act.
It's simple.
The devil is in the detail. I have to get into the Baroness's cabin undetected, then find the secret hiding place, and I can't leave any evidence behind.
Yes. And Inch said something about a combination, so the hiding place might be locked.
One step at a time. I think I'll assess the situation first.
And I think I'll make myself comfortable for a little while.
So this is how married life will be.
Works for me.
Everything went according to plan in London?
Except for the explosion, yes. The Bobby was right on time.
Because he had a good tip-off.
I had enough time to take the eye, but unfortunately there was no time to replace it with the fake.
Where is it? A work of art. Almost as beautiful as the original.
I can't tell the difference.
Inch could. But if all goes to plan, he won't have a chance to take a closer look at the jewel until after the burglary at the Egyptian Museum. Will Legrand cause any trouble?
Everything's still going according to plan. That means he's clever, but not clever enough.
And the Bobby?
Peasant's cunning, nothing more. He won't be able to solve the puzzle on his own.
There's still Inch.
He doesn't suspect anything. We laid the foundation well. I've been his assistant for months already. He doesn't trust me, but he thinks he can play me for a sucker. That's enough.
Speaking of Inch, I saw him talking to you in Venice. What was it about?
He was angry because his attack on the train failed and because I lost my ticket.
How did you get on the ship?
As a stowaway, locked in a cold, dark cargo hold.
Poor boy. I'll go out now and lead the police and master thieves around by the nose.
I can think of something else to do.
I can't.
Denied. Okay, now I can save the game. Alright, it's already saved too. Alright, so tables have turned. We thought Adil was working for... Yeah, cold shower, dude. You never know, he might actually take a cold shower. I think that room had a shower in it. But Adil has Inch believing that that he's working mainly for him, but is actually working against him with his fiance, who plays an American in front of everybody else, but is really British. And I knew it was her because, I know it was the voice actress that it is, because of how she says the word idea. She puts an R at the end every time she says that word. Idea. idea. So much fun. Well, this was a lot of fun, and we'll be mainly just playing this game this week, trying to get through the rest of the story because we've made it pretty far. So yeah, Wednesday, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time is when I will start, and then be done by noon-ish. So you all have a great afternoon if you're on the East Coast. If you're across the pond, you have a great evening. And if you're on the West Coast, have a good morning. Yep, no. Where I grew up, it's pronounced ideal, even though it's idea. That's interesting. Just the little, what are they called? Idiosyncrasies? No. Differences in dialect, basically. Bristol dialect, yes. Yes, that's it. It's the dialect of the areas. Certain words are changed. Just slightly. It's the same word, it's just said differently. Like, I'm trying to think of one that I have. The word to. T-O. Sometimes sounds like I'm saying toe. If I say it fast enough. Now I'm thinking about it, I won't say it like that. But when I'm not thinking about it, I say it like that. Ugh. Yeah, like the little differences in dialects between different areas. I'm going to exit the game just to have that done and over with. But yeah, I'm trying to get it so that I finish this so that next week I can play the game that I got gifted to me, which is Nightingale. It's set in the Feywilds, and your guide is named Puck. So all I could think of is like Midsummer Night. Great stream, looking forward to seeing how it ends. I think you're gonna really like the ending of this game. It's a really well written game. Because the first day that I streamed it, I couldn't get enough of it, so I started a new save and started playing through it until I beat it, and it took me 2 days to get through it. But yeah, we're getting closer to the end. Because I think it's like 2/3 in is when you stop playing as Zellner, and then like the last third of the game, it's like, okay, now I'm filling in the gaps of the plot here. It's very well written. But yeah, so fun. So much fun. You have a great evening, and I will try to have a great afternoon. And I'm probably gonna go eat something and relax for a few hours before I have to go to my physical therapy. So I guess that's it for today. Have a great day. I'll just put it that way. And I love you all, and I hope to see you on Wednesday. Hope you have less eggs and the PT goes very well. Well, see, that's the thing. I went to PT for like 6 months, and it doesn't really make anything better. I think this is more just to keep the muscles that are holding me together still a little stronger than they normally would be. But thank you for the well wishes. It's much appreciated. And I hope that your night goes famously. And I will see you on Wednesday. Bye for now.